And hello everybody, welcome back to Scrap Making. Today we have the brilliant new DAC T-1. So this is a trainer aircraft. As you can see here, it's got two rather nice seats. And the cockpits are exactly the same, so you don't need to worry about any of that. And of course, it has the new DAC Mark IV logic block instead of the Mark II version used on previous aircraft. So as you can see, we have it in this very nice exhibition hangar here. And of course here we have the secondary speed gauge. So this is just so that like if you're flying the plane in third person, ooh, what's that? You can see the speed. Ooh, speed. So yeah, let's get this thing airworthy. And we are back. So let's take a look in the cockpit here. So blue gauge right here is going to be your altitude next to the actual altimeter. Red thing down there, that's going to be your speed. The red gauge next to it, that's going to be your throttle setting. This red thing here, that's going to be your engine on/off state. Those two pedals at the bottom, those are going to be your yaw. Thing in the middle, that's your gear. And this thing to the side, that's going to be your landing drag chute. And this red thing right here, that's going to be your guns. And of course, this green thing is compass, and you've got your radar here. So let's get this thing in flight. So this thing does have an option for camera control. It's that button in the back. It's not currently on, so we can just take a look around. So of course this thing works better at low speeds, and as you can see, it does have automatic stabilization. It's trying to keep itself level. So yes, when banking at high speed, it does have some vibration issues. And of course the frame rate's not perfect, but you know, it's complex footing, so take what you can get, you know? But yeah, it does fly pretty nice, both seats work. And of course, you can totally just boost it all the way up if you want to. And it will fly. It's gonna vibrate crazy, as you can see. So usually I like to fly this thing below half throttle. So yeah, when it starts vibrating, you just want to reset the throttle to 0 and bring it back up, and it should resolve any problems. So now let's try to take this thing in for a landing. Again, wait. Put the throttle down. Okay, again, pitch up. And pop the chute. Turned so we don't get dunked. And yeah, that was a pretty decent landing. So now let's look at a few other systems on here. So of course you've got your integrated control unit right here. This is going to be a throttle system. Okay, wings and whatnot. And of course, no flight. No, nothing would be complete without a nice gear animation. So let's place a block to reset the FPS and zoom all the way out. So it does have a pretty short takeoff run. So you can totally just get off short strips if you want to, no problems. Of course, once you reset it to 0, if it's within plus minus 15 degrees of 0, it'll try to stay there. But once you exit that range, it will stop trying to compensate. So yeah, there's the clear animation there. We'll do the custom one. Quite an overview, I say. Now, of course, scrap mechanic, it's much better on frame rate if you want to gear out. Similarly, it's good for frame rate if you don't try sharp banks at high speeds. And of course, final feature, ejector seat. So to activate this, you hold 6 and 7 together, and yeah, parachute will activate. It'll do this. It'll do this because wings mount parachutes are wonk, and the plane will self-destruct after you eject. So yeah, there's your DAC T-1. So now that we're here, let's take a bit of a close look at the modules controlling this thing. So this is the Mark IV fly-by-wire integrated control module. So it takes WS and AD inputs here. It does a bunch of fancy math, more fancy math, and it outputs into 4 smart engines. So each of these is row and pitch for one side. And of course, if you invert the inputs, you can, get yourself a lovely little for rear wing canard aircraft, and that will work. So this thing, well, it's got 2 major innovations. First things first, it's got an adjustably compensating stabilization module, which means it will only try to compensate if you are within 15 degrees of 0, and the amount of which it compensates, well, it varies with how far away you are from 0. And this basically just does a bunch of basic math with subtracting your current position from the 0 position and whatnot. And of course, this section here controls if the thing is on at all. And this bit here controls altitude maintenance, which you activate by pressing 8. So once you hit 8, it's going to detect the altitude, it's going to pitch up if you're below, it's going to pitch down if you're above, the basic stuff. But yeah, this thing is of course not alone. It's complemented by this, well, where the hell is it? Where the hell is it? Ah, here it is. This is the co-pilot module. So it takes the inputs, 2 inputs from here, WSAD. Yeah, you get my point. So it turns them into 1 output, which will, more math. And the way it's mounted is you just cut this off, and you, well, actually, let's give you a demonstration. So just cut these 2 bits off, roll them in like this, and you wire everything up accordingly. So green is for pitch. You just drag green bits in, and white. Gray is for roll. So you just connect those in, and connect your seats into these things over here, and yeah, there you go. And of course, there's also the thrust module here, which supports the brand new granular throttle, which means that it has a 100% max out and a 0% bottom, the usual stuff. And if you go above or below, it'll reset itself to be within those bounds. Otherwise, you can go as far anywhere within those bounds, which is an improvement from the previous stepped system. Now, of course, we have a bunch of different sub-variants of the Mark IV module here. So this is the standard Mark IV. It's a bit janky. This is the Mark IV-B, which I believe is the improved and fixed version. Basically, the altitude control was wonky on the Mark IV Basic version, so it's been fixed here. And you have the Mark IV-C here, which is the version with a camera control module built right in. So this thing here is a 3 by 3 by 7. So you can just build your aircraft around that. So yeah, that's that then. Cheerio.